Okay. Feel like more of a person today, so let's have more of a talk, especially after I uploaded my response to Jeannie's portion of the interrogation. Seems like the only part that anyone has a beef with is where I said I did not appreciate that Chris said today was going to be factual and truthful. I do that because I had that beef because to preface, before she's spoken at all, to preface and give the platform is one thing. To give the platform and then the overall blanket umbrella protection of anything she's saying today is truthful and factual. That is negligent. It's negligent. Number one, he doesn't know that anything she is saying is factual and truthful, even though we all probably know she's telling the absolute truth. The only thing he can verify as a separate being is that this is her story and her story to tell. He cannot say it's all factual and truthful. Now we know that the abuse did occur because Dawn has stated the abuse did occur. Dawn, you big dummy. So we know the abuse did occur, but the actual small occurrences within each abuse behavior and action, he can't verify, validate, nothing. He cannot go on file and say, I know this is fact or truth. That's my beef. That is something that you should not say. You should say, this is her story. I want to give her this platform to tell this story. And then he could say, and Jeannie, I want you to be as honest and forthright and don't exaggerate anything as much as you possibly can. Just tell us the exact occurrences that we need to know about. Leave Mommy's cord alone. Don't. Cause he's down here being a booger. But to preface that with like this, I will defend you and say that everything you say is honest and truthful. Listen, she's got enough of a complex as an abuse survivor. We don't need to then give her anything else to kind of discombobulate her emotions or her feelings toward being a victim and a survivor, other than saying, this is your story and you get to tell it and I'm going to give you a platform, and then we back away. Because adding any more emotion or any more protection or any more, if we go away from the objectivity and go to subjectivity, then we do a discredit to not only her story, but her healing journey as well, and we shouldn't do that. So that was my beef, and that's the basis for my beef. So there you go. Okay, so I didn't quite understand what one woman was trying to say to me in some of the remarks earlier, and I said, I think we're not communicating, I think we're misunderstanding each other. But then she said, well, I'm sure that Dawn would have stated that anyone else basically started the issue. Well, of course Dawn would always pawn it off on somebody else. Dawn has spent his entire life playing the victim. You know, to be such a tough guy, you know, with such a tough boy personality, he has done nothing but, you know, make himself small, expose his tummy, lick and be subordinate when somebody else comes around. So I find it funny. that anyone would think Dawn would actually take ownership. He's not going to take ownership, and when he does take ownership, he takes ownership in those. I know I'm caught. So I'm going to take ownership and say, yeah, that happened, but she initiated it too. That's the biggest crock of crap I ever heard in my life, Dawn. Get another line, Dawn. It don't work that way. I'm having a really hard time following this, because what it actually seems like this is a family that has been in some type of massive dysfunction pattern for at least 3 generations. At least 3 generations. There has been some kind of grave incompetence that has kept this family unable to follow societal laws and structures and become what we would say would be a productive member of society. And I would dare say that it is a hidden secret that is probably predominantly related to generational abuse, and abuse that, because it's generational, became a little club that they were part of, to where they had rings of people they knew that also did this. And you know something, you can find all kinds of people across this big wide world. You can find all kinds of bad ones, and if you're doing something really bad for a long enough amount of time, you will find other people that are doing really bad things for a long amount of time, and you'll find your best buddy in that dark, depraved world that you're crawling into. And it's absolutely amazing. But I'm sure as I'm sitting here and not winning America's Next Top Model, I am sure that they had a pretty decent network of people that had similar behavioral issues, similar tastes. And the victim, and you know, you can tell it in his voice when he says, "Oh yeah, but you know, she started it too." That's the same voice he uses when he is mock upset about Summer being gone. Yeah, well, we miss Summer, and we just hope nobody's hurting her, and then he was my abuser. Well, yeah, I abused her, but yeah, she initiated it too. It's the same voice pattern. You can almost tell when this man is lying. He uses the same voice pattern. And his submissive, let me present my stomach, submissive puppy dog voice is so fake that it just hits me and it just makes me so upset. It just, I mean, I feel it. But you know, no, I was not, you know, when I'm saying we shouldn't allow Chris to say that Jeannie and Trish, you know, everything's true, I'm not knocking Jeannie and Trish. I'm sure that they are saying probably 100% of the truth. What I'm saying is, when we give someone a platform, we should not also give them an umbrella that would embolden them to potentially exaggerate events. Because this is hard enough on them as it is. You should not add any emotional confusion, because it's going to be hard for them to tell the story, and they've had to hide this or misconstrue it or lie to survive for years. And when we're asking for the truth, we should open the platform for the truth. And we should not try to guide them in any way to say, but whatever you say, I'm going to say it's the truth. I'm going to cover for you. We should just say, tell your story. This is a place for you to tell your story. And if you can keep it as concise and clear as possible, we would appreciate it. And, you know, we don't want you to get super emotional. We just want you to tell us in the best words that you can what happened, at what age it happened, and how it made you feel. And that's it. But when you say everything here is going to be truthful and factual, not everyone, but there will be one or two victims, even victims that are good, decent people that have been in bad spots, there'll be one or two victims go, oh, well, here's my show. So we have to be careful where we open that door, because we don't want to give that to everyone, and we don't want to also give somebody that's already struggling emotionally another struggle emotionally. Because it's big to tell your story. It's even bigger to tell your story when you've got somebody in the back of you going, yeah, I'll beat somebody up if they don't think it's the truth, because it's the truth, it's factual, it's everything. We can't do that. Even a solemn hand going, I'm here and I'm going to look mean at anybody that says you're lying. That can embolden somebody to make a very bad mistake that they otherwise would not want to make. And it's because they are so emotional about their story. And when you're super emotional and, you know, your eyebrows are up to here and your voice is up to here and you're shaking and you're not really remembering every word that comes out of your mouth, you're going on pure emotion. If somebody then adds another emotion to that, it could create some kind of collaboration of falsehoods with the truth that we don't want to have to sort out later. So it's best to just say, this is a platform for your story. Please be as clear and concise as you can. And I want to give you this platform because I believe your story is important for you to heal and for someone to be held accountable. And that's it. That's all you need. And if they get upset, tell them to take a moment, compose themselves. If they need a break, that's fine. But leading someone in that position can be detrimental. It can create hiccups within their storyline. It can give them the ability to create a false narrative because they have covered a lot of stuff up or lost a lot of memory, blocked a lot of stuff to function. So we need to be careful when we create the avenue for these things to come back, because we don't want them to get those falsehoods and, you know, those things that save them, that allow them protection for so many years. We don't want them to get mixed up with the truth. So that's why you have to be so careful with victims and giving them a platform, and how you present that platform, and how you present your relationship to them as someone offering that platform to a victim. I wasn't trying to knock anybody. I think the girls are super brave. I think this family is going to go through hell, but they're going to come out stronger. And I think there are going to be some women in this family find footing that they did not know they could have. And there are going to be so many changes made that the next few generations of this family are going to have some strong women. Strong women. And this could completely recalibrate this family's entire existence in 2 generations. We could see some women taking control and going back and saying, no, you may not have my family story. You may not have my family name. It will be good again. It will be strong, and it will mean something. And I'm excited for this family because they have a lot of power now to go back and make it better. And for victims, that's all they want. They want to be able to go back and clear their name, clear their conscience, and create a better path. And I wish them all well. I'm super excited for them. I know this is hard, but with the right support, the right therapy, and the right amount of time, there's going to be some positive stuff happen for these ladies. And I'll be very happy to see it. And I know it's sad that potentially this came at the expense of this beautiful young girl. I'm afraid we will never know what occurred there, what happened. I'm afraid it will always be a question mark. Given the behavior and all of the discrepancies with the family and the missing people and the offenders, the registered offenders in the family, I don't think we'll ever get a true snapshot of what occurred, and that bothers me. But I see a lot of growth for a lot of good people, and that excites me. And so that's why I wanted to talk about this case. That's why it intrigued me. A beautiful young lady right down the road from me. I understood the dynamic. I understood the family. I understood the felon dynamic and the registered sex offender dynamic, and I understood that this is, there's so much to this. And I could tell it from a different position because of my career and the capacity which I counseled, and because of my work with children. And I'm so glad that y'all have chose to come here and see my videos, because it helps me to process this and the grief that it's brought to me, but it's also blossomed the grief into friendships and a new social group that I can share things with. And I think we have one heck of a family here on this channel. I think we're amazing, and I appreciate every one of you. So always talk to me, always ask questions, always have a dialogue, even if you disagree with me. If we can have a respectful conversation, you can disagree with me all you want. That's not a problem. But always feel like this is a safe place to come and ask questions and have thoughts. And I'll ask questions right back. But I want this to be a place where we grow and we learn about ourselves and other people and how we respond to others and how others respond to us. Because we cannot build communities until we understand that, yes, we create a community, but the community also has to latch on to us. And what kind of people do we need to be the best on both sides of that? That's what I want to start talking about. I want each community in this nation to be stronger, better, braver than we have been these last 2 years, because we've lost a lot of our humanity and our soul and our caring for other people. And our capacity to care should never shrivel up and die like it has in the last 2 years. And that concerns me. And that's where I am today. Mama Liz out.